You know the strange gap. Opening the task feels like a wall, but 10 minutes later, you're already moving. The document did not become easier. You became engaged with it. Starting asks for a few decisions at once. Which task, which first move, how hard it might be, and what you are leaving behind. Continuing asks fewer. It mostly asks, what is the next step in the thing already on screen? That difference is the thread through this video. Why can the first minute feel heavier than the next 20? And what can you change about the first minute? First, the task is still a prediction. Before you touch the document, you estimate its difficulty, the chance of getting stuck, and the attention it might consume. In controlled experiments on cognitive demand, people repeatedly preferred the option that looked less demanding, even when the choice could not be explained simply by saving time or avoiding errors. That does not mean your brain is lazy. It means anticipated effort is part of the decision. A vague task, study biology, write the report, fix the code, makes that prediction harder because the first action is hidden inside the goal. There is another cost. The task you are doing now already has a mental setting. Your phone, inbox, kitchen, or browser has its own cues and unfinished threads. Moving into a new task means reconfiguring what matters, what to ignore, and which response counts as progress. Decades of task-switching research call the measurable slowdown after a change a switch cost. Preparation reduces it, but does not erase it. Once the document is active, continuing is not free, but it avoids paying that full gear change cost again. This is a synthesis, not a law of every session. Fatigue, confusion, and interruptions can make continuing hard too. The practical move is to decide the first response before the threshold. An implementation intention is an if, then plan. If a specific situation appears, then I will perform one specific action. The situation might be when I sit at my desk after dinner. The action should be physical and small. I open the marked page and write one question. A meta-analysis covering 94 independent tests found that these plans improved goal attainment on average. Another set of experiments found that making a specific plan could reduce the intrusive mental activation of an unfinished goal. The plan does not manufacture motivation. It removes one decision from the moment when decisions feel expensive. Watch what changes after that first action. The task is no longer a cloud called study. It is one page, one question, one comparison, or one line that is visibly in progress. Your attention has a target. The next action can be retrieved from the state you just created instead of invented from zero. That is why start small is too vague to be useful on its own. A better instruction is, name the cue, name the physical first move, and leave the next move visible. The first action is not supposed to finish the project. It is supposed to turn an unstarted task into an active task. If the same cue keeps leading to the same kind of action, the start can become more available. Habit studies find that strong habits are triggered by the context in which they were practiced, sometimes more than by a fresh goal in the moment. A real-world study of daily behaviors also found that automaticity rose with repetition in a consistent context, but the time course varied dramatically, from weeks to many months. So the honest claim is not do this for 21 days and your brain rewires. It is repeat a manageable cue and action, then observe whether the launch gets less negotiable. Missing one opportunity is not a catastrophe. The pattern is gradual. Here is a bounded version you can test today. First, write a finish line small enough to recognize. Second, make a cold attempt before rereading, so the gap becomes visible. Third, retrieve, explain, solve, draw, or answer without looking. Fourth, correct only what the attempt exposed. Fifth, write the next attempt before you stop. This is the logic of the live 20-minute study loop kit, a 6-page session workbook, a 6-page 7-day retrieval planner, and a short guided walkthrough for building better questions. The 20-minute allocation is a practical protocol, not a scientific optimum. Use a timer if it helps, but measure the loop by the visible next action you leave behind. So, why does starting feel harder than continuing? Often, the launch bundles anticipated demand, a context switch, and an uncertain first move. Once the task is active, some of that work is already done. A specific cue can move the decision earlier, and repeated context can make the next launch more available. Try one sentence. If it is 8 o'clock and I sit at the desk, I open the marked page and write one question. Run that loop for a week and log 2 things: how long it took to begin and what made the next start easier or harder. Do not ask whether a trick turned you into a new person. Ask whether you reduced the blank space between intending and doing. That is the useful mechanism and the honest test.